row 5 to Feral, but Feral is giving row 1 to Whewty. That's an interesting one. That's a lot of collection, though.
Yeah, knowing Farrell, he really likes to give the row that would force maximum collection. I've talked to him before about that. That is his style, I guess, and I don't blame him. That 11 E-tanks is pretty scary. There's the E-tanks are pretty spread out, so you will have to go to a lot of different places.
Yeah, plus 35 power bombs, 75 missiles, and Whewty will have to go finish in the Metal Pirates room, which means he has to go to Lower Norfair. We already talked a little about row 5, 40 power bombs. Pretty much means, in both cases, whether it be 35 or 40, the better way to do it is to figure out which ones you're not going to pick up, and often it's Lower Norfair you're going to avoid, or Criteria power bombs, or the Meridia one. I suspect since Farrell has to go to Spring Ball and doesn't really have to go into Lower Norfair, those are probably the ones he'll skip, whereas Whewty probably will want to avoid Meridia.
I would argue that 40 power bombs is a lot scarier than 35 power bombs, since there's a total of 15 in Meridia and Lower Norfair, which are the two areas you generally want to avoid if you can. So with 40 power bombs, you're forced to do one of the two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I guess
that difference of one pack, I think, is actually pretty significant. Because like Whewty, if he wanted to, this is probably not what he's going to do, since he has to go to Metal Pirates. He'll go right by power bombs. A shame. But at 35, you could just skip all the Norfair ones, because you're talking about Croc you have to kill plus the 2 in Lower Norfair. Whereas once you get to 40, now you're forced to do one of Croc or Lower Norfair. You can't avoid it.
Well, the good news for Farrell is he is forced to do Croc anyways for that collect grapple beam tile. So actually, this might be a little bit weird, but I think for Farrell, I would pick column 5 to pair with row 5.
That's reasonable. 35 plus super missiles is not the best thing in the world, but the Brinstar map station is free if you remember to get it. Same thing with Norfair. He's already he'll probably want to get the speed booster anyway, so visiting the critters, he'll have to backtrack a little bit for that. He's already gained 25 plus super missiles, so actually it's only 2 more.
Well, the other thing is 35 super missiles looks really scary, but in practice, it really just means go to Meridia, basically, since there's 2 super missiles in Wreck Ship and 3 in Meridia, which you can get all of them in a pretty short amount of time.
And he'll be near one when he visits the Edicoons, and you could get the Spore Spawn supers. So yeah, I could see routing those in without too much trouble with what he already has to do.
Well, he wouldn't even need Spore Spawn supers, because just the 5 I was talking about, and then Edicoons and early supers, that makes 35.
Good point. Yeah, that's true.
So that is what I'm looking at initially.
Although I might argue that Spore Spawn supers might be a better choice than, say, the ones at the watering hole, which is the most out of the way of the Meridia ones. So it'd be interesting to see what he chooses to skip. Again, with 35 supers, I would think more along the lines of which ones am I going to skip? And the first one on my list is the one at Golden Chorizo. So unless I had to go to Golden Chorizo for something else, that's one of the ones I'm definitely going to skip.
As for Whewty, I'm not really sure. Initially, I'm looking at maybe row 1 or column 1. He's forced to do row 1.
Yep.
So it has a bunch of E-tanks, which he has to pick up anyways.
Yep.
Screw Attack, which he has to go to Lower Norfair anyways.
Yep.
And then, so that's just one more Power Bomb and the Brinstar Reserve, which is super free.
Yeah, that would be. I think you're right. I think that'd be a pretty reasonable choice for him.
Yeah. He would be able to skip going to Meridia entirely, I believe. He would even be able to skip Ridley, actually, if he picked up every E-tank outside of Meridia and Ridley.
Yeah.
And then 40 power bombs shouldn't be a problem, since there's 2 in Lower Norfair, and then you can get 30 without ever going to Meridia or Lower Norfair. Yep.
So if you get those and then pick up the 2 in Lower Norfair, that pretty much means you're good.
Yeah, so that is what I'm looking at for each runner. Column 1 to pair with row 1, and column 5 to pair with row 5. We'll see
That'd
what
be
the
a cool
runners
bingo
decide to
card at
do,
the end.
though.
That'd be a nice square when they're both done. Be like a picture frame or something.
Yep. Nice multicolored picture frame too. Get your green and purple on opposite sides.
Okay, both in bomb chorizo. Farrell making very quick work of the bomb chorizo. Whewty's off to a good start. Except unfortunately for Whewty, he wasn't full up on energy, which meant some of the drops were not missiles. He got some energy drops, which is going to slow him down a little bit. But gets through just fine.
Farrell did not have that problem, so he takes a bit of an early lead over Whewty. Of course, Farrell is one of the best any percent runners in the tournament, so his early game movement is expected to be above average, and he is definitely not disappointing in that front. As he picks up his Terminator E-Tank. He's actually missiling the Pirates down, so he could be thinking of going up first, possibly
That's
to do.
Usually an indication of that. With that many well, he won't need to get power bombs there, but with that many supers, if he were to do column 5, he would want to get the super missiles in the wreck ship, grab the gravity suit, and never touch Kraid. So that would make sense.
That
and he's
would
visiting
be
the Brinstar map station, so that's kind of an indication that maybe he is doing column 5.
Well, the thing about that is, I mean, yeah, he's almost definitely doing column 5, I would imagine, if he's doing this. But he will have to go back up to visit the critters in this case.
Yep.
So, since he won't have speed booster until he goes down to Norfair.
Yeah, so it's going to be a backtrack regardless, and this might actually be more of a backtrack doing it this way, if he's going to go up first. So, or it could just be, there's the other possibilities. It could just be muscle memory, because he is a new route runner, and a new route, you're usually going to missile the space pirates. So he maybe just was doing that just for muscle memory.
And Whewty picks up that Brinstar reserve tank, so he may also be thinking of column 1. Of course, they could also both be thinking of row 3.
Or
which,
maybe I doubt. It could be. Farrell in particular has to get Spring Ball anyway, so it would be a free square for him if he chose not to pick up Ice Beam.
Yep, but Farrell is not going to pick up that reserve, so we are most likely going to rule that one out. And that leaves just column 5. Which isn't to say he doesn't change his mind at some point, but that is what he's going for at present.
Frankly, if either one of them were to do row 3, it would make more sense for Whewty, because the 70 energy tanks and 70 plus missiles he's doing already. And, then he'd have to pick a suit to get. He doesn't have to go into Meridia, so he could choose just to get the Varia suit, I suppose.
Okay, so this is interesting. Farrell is going to be picking up the Spore Spawn Super Missile early. Like I said, it's not necessary in the route that I was theory crafting for him, but he might be skipping some other super missiles in other places. So, of course, he might know what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing, but we can pretend he doesn't to make us sound smarter. Either way, he has that extra pack of super missiles for wherever he decides to go after this. And remember, he can't pick up Charge Beam. So
that would be a reset.
He doesn't do that.
Okay, he successfully skips Charge Beam. This is always good.
Yep, that is definitely harder than it sounds. If you are actively running the game while in the tournament, you can definitely fall victim to muscle memory and pick up that Charge Beam.
Oh, absolutely.
It's happened before. I think we've all done it before, but luckily Farrell is not going to pick it up, and he is going to go somewhere.
We're about to find out whether he's going up or down. Okay, what do you do? Oh, looks like he's going up.
So one little thing to note there, if you are going up in that situation, you don't want to jump through the door transition. It actually makes the door transition lag more. So we couldn't really indicate by whether or not he jumped through the door. But he is in fact going up. I think I like this. Not sure yet.
Very nice climb up Red Tower, though, I will point out. Whewty, of course, is going down. I shouldn't say of course, but, yeah. Whewty, not a new route run. I believe he only runs old routes, so it makes more sense. If you're not used to, A, the CWJ, and B, the early wreck ship where we only have one E-tank and no suits. It's a very scary fight with Phantoon. I actually think that's the more scary part than the CWJ.
So one thing to note for Whewty is since he is going down, no matter what he decides to do, he will have to double dip Norfair because he won't be able to get 11 without going back out and picking up all the E-tanks in Brinstar and in other spots that aren't Norfair.
Yeah, because he has to finish in the Metal Pirate Room, and there's no way he can get all the E-tanks before going down there.
What I imagine we'll see him do is do the early Brinstar cleanup, or early Norfair cleanup, like around Bubble Mountain, and then go up around, do Brinstar cleanup, potentially do some wreck ship and or Meridia just for a couple more E-tanks, and then go back down to finish out his run in lower Norfair. Just a little bit early.
Unfortunately, yeah, didn't quite get that quick kill, so he's gonna have to do Kraid the hard way.
Luckily, he did get both of his super missiles in, so it's not going to be too bad. Just a missile and a super whenever Kraid decides to open his mouth.
And he's done.
I don't know if Farrell's going to make it on the platform.
He's not going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it on the platform. Oh, no, he's okay. He's going to go for the backup HPJ and gets it.
Well done.
These guys make those horizontal bomb jumps look easy, but they are not.
So for Farrell, I imagine we see him go... I would imagine he goes to do Brinstar cleanup right after Wreck Ship, and then goes down to Norfair, get his grapple beam and whatever else he might want, and then into Meridia to get his super missiles and get Spring Ball. So actually, this isn't a too long of a route for Farrell.
Well, he will have to backtrack if he's going to visit the critters, though. He can visit the Edicoons first time around, and then he'll have to backtrack to visit the Decora.
Oh, you're right. So maybe we see him go straight down to Norfair and then do his Brinstar cleanup afterwards.
It's an interesting question. It's actually one of the reasons why possibly going down to Norfair first might have been the better choice. Just so hard to say.
Honestly, I think I would have said it was the better choice because you go straight from Norfair. You can even, if you go to Crocomire, you can even pick up Norfair map on the way out, and then you never have to visit Norfair again.
Yeah, and that's definitely a plus.
So that's my logic, at least. Ooh, Farrell needs to be careful. He has taken a couple hits from Phantoon and is not looking too healthy. Oh, oh no.
Oh no, Farrell. Oh no.
And he doesn't have a charge beam because he couldn't pick it up.
He doesn't have charge beam, and actually, if you had high jump boots, it's actually not too bad to dodge these by doing little wall jumps on the correct side at each time. But he doesn't have that either. So, but he makes it through, and actually has more energy now than he did coming in. So that was well done.
Yeah, Farrell executed that enrage phase beautifully, all things
really
considered.
did.
And so Phantoon should be dead from a couple missiles. And not the cleanest Phantoon fight, but Farrell is going to be happy he gets out of that with his life.
Yeah, any Phantoon fight you can walk away from is a good one. At least when you have this little energy and you get an enrage and you don't have charge beam or screw attack or high jump boots or a better beam or anything that would help you out. He had nothing to help him out there, so...
So, I imagine we see him pick up both wreck ship super missiles. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Yeah, I expect
So-
we'll see the wreck ship supers, and we'll see he'll go get the gravity suit, and I think that'll be it. There's no reason for him to pick up anything else.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That will put him at 20 super missiles. Meanwhile, Whewty going to get his screw attack. He has, of course,
Or speed
already
booster.
picked up, or speed booster, not screw attack. He'll get that later though. But he does not need to skip high jump boots, and he did not want to either, so he has that advantage over Feral.
I don't know anybody that wants to skip high jump boots. Okay, Feral's now got his supers. He's going to head on up. Since he doesn't need to pick up any energy tanks, he's not going to touch the energy tank here. That's actually one of the ones I would put on the list of candidates to skip for Whewty, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets that energy tank.
Which one?
The wreck ship energy tank?
So here's the thing. He can only skip 3 E-tanks,
Skip
right?
3, yes.
We're assuming he's
You gotta skip Ridley.
definitely skipping... I would assume he's skipping Ridley. I would also assume he's skipping Botwoon. Like, Mama
Yeah.
Turtle...
Mama Turtle's not bad.
Is not bad, but going all the way to Botwoon is much more time consuming.
Yep, absolutely.
So that leaves one other that he can skip. Maybe it's Mama Turtle. Could be Wreck Ship E-Tank. Could be something like Gauntlet. He does need to do Brinstar cleanup, so I imagine we do see him pick up all the E-Tanks there, including Waterway, which is something he wouldn't be able to do if he didn't pick up Speed Booster.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll just have to see which one he decides to skip. It could theoretically be Crocomite. Well, no, it can't be. If he's doing column 1, then I would imagine
he wants Croc. Yeah, he'll want the Croc power bombs if nothing else.
All right, so well, technically he doesn't need them if he picks up both power bombs in Lower Norfair, but I imagine we see him. In fact, he's doing that now.
Yeah, he's going to Croc right now.
So in that case, I would think the other power bomb he skips is either the prison power bombs in Lower Norfair or the Criteria power bomb. I'm not sure which one would technically be slower to pick up.
Now the problem with the one in Criteria is you have to IBJ to get it. Because no, he won't. He'll have speed boosters. I'd get that one.
Yeah, I would.
I think that's the one I get. And so we have a question about what is double anti-bingo, and we didn't actually explain that at the beginning. So we'll go ahead and explain it now. The double anti-bingo refers to, if you look at it, you see a bingo card, and basically what goes on is the runners, the anti-bingo part, each runner is going to choose a row, column, or diagonal for their opponents. In this case, Whewty chose row 5 for Feral, and Feral chose row 1 for Whewty. And to make it double, they have to also complete any row, column, or diagonal of their own choosing, so long as it doesn't conflict with something that is in their row, column, or diagonal that was given.
So I wonder if Whewty is going to pick up Grapple Beam here. I don't think he needs it, especially if he's not planning on going to Meridia. But we'll see if he decides to do it. If he does, I think that might be an indication he might be getting some suitless E-Tanks, like potentially Mama Turtle. But I don't think he should pick it up. At least,
yeah, I think it's a bit of a waste of time. He has Speed Booster to get across the moat for the wreck ship. He doesn't have to worry about farming in Lower Norfair. That's one of the other common uses of Grapple Beam is farming for Ridley, but he's not going to do Ridley. So,
well,
yeah, I'm not seeing enough of a use of Grapple for him to pick it up.
Honestly, the big thing I'm seeing grapple for is making the GT fight easier. But it looks like Whewty agrees with us, doesn't think grapple beam is worth the time. Means he will have to do a bit of a tricky jump if he wants to take the croc escape. But he is not going to be going and getting that item. Of course, Farrell will be forced to. It looks like Farrell picked up that map station as well, so he didn't need to worry about getting that on the way out. Alright, there we go. Not too hard. You just have to remember to run the full length of that little platform that Whewty was on. And that jump isn't too hard. And so Whewty, we'll see if he picks up the map station on the way out or on the way back into Norfair. I would imagine he does it now, while it's on his mind. And that is what we're gonna see.
Yeah, the map stations are always an interesting choice because they're essentially free because they're very quick and easy to pick up. But if you forget them, trying to route them back in is a real pain. And of course, as we talked about a few times, muscle memory being a thing, we don't go to the map stations in any route except for Hundo Maps. So there aren't too many situations where you're visiting those map stations.
Yep, luckily for Whewty, if he did forget it on the way up, he would pass it on the way back since he needs to go down to Lower Norfair.
Yep.
So not the worst thing ever, but it's good to get it out of the way, especially since it isn't. I would imagine it's faster getting it on the way out than on the way in, but I'm not sure. Either way,
Farrell about to pick up his speed booster, which he'll need to visit the critters. Whewty looks like he's headed to the wreck ship. Yep, looks like he's do that before he does any cleanup in Brinstar.
And a nice red tower from Whewty. You think Farrell will pick up wave?
He doesn't need it. I'm trying to think if it. The one thing it might do for him is it might make it easier. If he chooses to do an ice clip to get a spring ball, it might make it easier for him.
All right, he is not going to. I would say you pick up wave if you have charge, but Farrell couldn't pick up charge, so
yep.
It means he will need to do a gate glitch here to get to Crocomire. But I imagine he is comfortable with it. I say that, but
now he's got it. First try.
First try, every try. Has anybody been counting Whewty's missiles? Because I have not. But he has at least 50. And yeah, shoutouts to
Polar Bear
PBB.
Bunny, who is doing our tracking today. Who informs us that she has been tracking the missiles. And tells us Whewty has 55.
55. So he only needs a couple more. He could pick up moat missiles on the Spark Inn if he wants. And there's plenty on the way as well, since he still has a pretty good amount to go. I don't think he picked up the missiles behind the reserve tank, did he?
I'm not sure he did.
Actually, no, I think he did. Because I saw him pick up the missile under the bridge on the way out. I mean, that would be the obvious missiles to pick up since there's so many in such a small area.
And our tracker's always on top of it, Polar Bear Bunny saying that he did. So.
Farrell getting that spike suit. And now you see him in a completely normal state in the ceiling. I wonder where he's going to use that. I imagine he uses it to get back up from Crocomire after he gets grapple. Alright, so Whewty is picking up that moat missile, setting up for the ocean fly. We'll see if he gets it, and he does.
There we go. Nicely done. Now his energy is a little bit lower than I might want going into Phantoon. Of course, he does have various suits that'll make it a lot easier for him.
Also has charge and wave beam, so we will be able to do some X Factor strats on Phantoon if he's comfortable with it. Although he doesn't have a super missile. He will need to missile the eye door and hope for a super drop during Phantoon if he wants to finish the fight off with a super.
Okay, Farrell, who doesn't have high jump boots, is going to do an IBJ up to get his grapple beam. You may not be aware, it is possible to get this jump. Actually, it's not even that hard to get the normal jump without high jump boots. It's just a little more precise than doing it with high jump boots.
Well, something I like to do, something I did a lot in Rando, was in situations like this where I don't have a good way to get up to. Well, I guess he did have a good way to get up to grapple. He just missed the jump. But entering the grapple escape reverse with a green gate glitch.
Yep. Sometimes that's required in randomizer.
Yeah. Of course, it can't be required in the vanilla game because you would get bombs. But I would have liked to see it. Whewty is low, but I think he has enough health in reserves where he should be okay, as long as he doesn't get surprised. Farrell gonna pick up these power bombs as well. Of course, he needs to pick up 40. Both runners do, assuming Whewty is doing what we think he's doing.
Yeah, Whewty didn't have as much in his reserve as I thought, so he just emptied it. But he had just one shot left with the super, so he's good.
That was unfortunately not quite a HBJ for Whewty, but luckily he didn't need to do any HBJ shenanigans.
Yeah. Ironically, Farrell's almost done with column 3, but I don't think he's doing that because that's still a lot of energy tanks to collect.
So I don't think we'll see Whewty pick up too much here in Wreck Ship. What we're most interested in is seeing if he picks up the Wreck Ship E-Tank or not. And honestly, I would not be surprised if we see him pick up Gravity Suit and then go back for the E-Tank because his health is not exactly fantastic at the moment.
Yeah, we call the room to get there Spiky Room of Death for a reason. It's a very dangerous room. Various Suit is... Since this is not a randomizer, the Very Suit does not give you as much protection as he might be used to, as Whewty does a lot of randomizers.
Whewty is
Gravity
saving.
Suit will make it a lot easier. Yeah, just a safety save here.
That save tells me he's going for it now. I think he should be okay. He can't take any hits from the platforms, and he can only take one hit from the spikes, but he should be okay as long as he doesn't KO through any platforms, and he gets through it really nicely.
Okay, Farrell leaving Norfair, probably gonna go get that, visit the critters at this point, do his Sprint Star cleanup, and then come back to get to Spring Ball at the end.
Whewty gonna turn off the high jump to make the jump the jump across to the E-Tank a little bit easier.
And Farrell forgetting that getting up here with high jump boots is not exactly easy. He did not pick up Ice Beam. Well, I'm going to note that for a couple reasons. Not only would it have made this much easier to get up Red Tower, but it would also give him a second, another choice for what to do to get into Spring Ball.
Yeah, we have seen Sloters in his race against Kip spend a lot of time on this short charge.
Yeah, yes,
Farrell,
he did.
Seems like Farrell's getting a lot cleaner taps though, but just isn't quite getting the spark. Oh, Whewty. He's got plenty of health, but he's immediate. Also, I think he needs to turn high jump back on. I don't think he did that.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, gosh, unless you have the something that tells you have to skip Ice Beam, I just think it's easier all around. It's possible Farrell didn't think about picking up Ice Beam beforehand and just now doesn't want to go back for it.
I still think it would be better for him to just power bomb the Rippers and bomb jump up. I think it's slow, but it's safer, and it's more consistent than this. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Oh, got the spark. Let's just make sure. Hope he gets it in the right spot. All right, there he is. He's
close. All right, first try. Every try.
That's right. To answer the question about Feral not going up through Meridia is if he is doing Calm 5 as we think he is, he right now is going to go visit the critters, which means he needs Speed Booster to get to the Decora. Also, I mean, he's going to have to pick up 40 power bombs. There's a ton of power bombs in this area. Oh, he runs out of regular missiles, has to switch to supers for the gate glitch.
Unless he wants to go to Lower Norfair, which he doesn't. I can tell you that right now.
No.
He will have to pick up, I believe, all of the power bombs. Yeah, all of the power bombs here in Brinstar. So that includes the retro power bombs right above this room, which he is not picking up right now.
He'll get him on the way back.
I was assuming he was gonna go out the other way, but I assume he picks it up on the way back. Regardless, he will need to remember to do that at some point. And it looks like he's picking these up now. The Mission Impossible power bombs.
Yeah, I don't think he actually meant to pick up those missiles, but you kind of run into them sometimes.
So Whewty picks up his gravity suit. That allows him to... I guess technically it wasn't super necessary, but it will make getting into Lower Norfair a lot easier. He won't need to do any lava dives. Although he will need to do a gravity jump, which is significantly easier, but still could be tricky if you aren't comfortable with it.
Well, especially though with high jump boots, the gravity jumping, you can actually do it if you when you do the gravity jump, the later you jump after hitting the pause menu, the higher the jump is, and if you jump late enough, you can actually do it without even doing a wall jump.
All right, so Whewty doing some hundo strats, charging up the spark, filling his energy at the ship, and then sparking up to the Criteria power bombs. Speaking of which, I don't think we saw Feral get those power bombs yet, so he will need to do that, I believe.
Or go to Lower Norfair. Oh boy, he's gonna lose some time to that, but he'll have an easier time getting him now with Speed Booster than he would have before. He would have had to IBJ, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. I think the more and more I think of it, I think going down first would have been the right play here.
The bigger issue is because, like I said, he didn't pick up retro power bombs, so he's got 2 power bombs he needs to pick up, and they're both in opposite directions right now.
Yeah. Well, okay, he could go get those retro power bombs and then go up through the climb, getting the super missiles, the Criteria supers, and then go towards Criteria to get the Criteria power bombs at that point. I think that might be his best choice of routing. I don't know. It's a... Oh, boy.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Feral has made a bit of a mistake in his route.
Yeah. His movement's good enough that he might not pay for it here, but it does give Whewty a better shot at winning this thing, I think.
Yeah, that plus the time he spent trying to get that... What do you call it? The short charge up Red Tower.
Yeah, I don't know if it has an official name. I would call it Red Tower Spark, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, there isn't another Red Tower Spark, so I guess that's the official name now. You heard it here first.
Okay, Decora gotten, so we've now visited the critters.
So what Whewty was trying to do there was get the wraparound shot to open that door to Gauntlet, so he could get a spark all the way through the first room of Gauntlet. Unfortunately, I guess he thought he got it, but didn't actually get it. So that's a little bit awkward. Either way, he's going to pick up his Gauntlet E-Tank. This was one of the ones he could have skipped, but he decided not to. Also going to pick up one of the Gauntlet missiles. I don't know what that brings his total up to. I believe it's 65?
He's got to be getting close to that 75 missiles. 75 missiles looks difficult, but there are so many missiles out there. It doesn't take too much to get to 75. Now, when you get to that 125 missile square, oh boy. And I will point out, Azure in chat did point out there is actually another Red Tower Spark. This one's actually fairly difficult. I've only seen it done a couple of times, but yeah, it is possible to get a Shine Spark in the where the new bridge is, and then if you can hold it until you get to that part of Red Tower, you actually can spark up there. But I think I've only seen that about twice.
You can call the lower red tower spark the Sloter's spark, since it's
There
right
you
next
go.
to the Sloter's refill. That's the official name. We changed
There
it.
you go. And Sloters did it the other day, so there you go.
He did do it.
And we
Or we could
joke
just
about how unless your name is Behemoth, everything named after you is because of something you did wrong. Well, kind of good and bad for Sloter since he did do it, but he took a long time to get it.
Yeah, let's just call it the Behemoth Spark anyways. Skip the middleman. Just go straight for the Behemoth.
Okay, looks like Feral is going to get those Criteria Supers.
Really nice damage boost. That's actually pretty tough to get the damage boost there, but Feral gets it relatively quickly. And I believe that puts him at 30 supers, because I think he's picked up every super possible so far. So he doesn't actually need to pick up that many in Meridia. And actually, he's getting really close to being done. He needs one more super missile in Meridia.
Yep.
He needs Criteria Power Bomb and Meridia Power Bomb. And then he needs to go to Spring Ball.
Yeah, I do wonder if he sought out how he's going to get up to Spring Ball, though. Because honestly, without high jump boots and without space jump, I think it's actually easier to do the ice clip than trying to get up the side where you would use the grapple beam. So it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to do.
Well, no, he has Gravity Suit. He's fine.
Well, I was about to say, one of the ways to do it is a gravity jump. Another way to do it is spring ball jump, but you can't do that in vanilla for obvious reasons. You can do it with a bomb jump. The tricky part is the sand has a tendency to push you down, so you have to time it right so that you're in one of those phases where the sand is not pushing you down. That makes that very tough. I'm not sure he's thought that out yet. See, if it were me, I would have picked up the ice beam, not just for Red Tower, but also as a backup if I couldn't get up. Yeah. Actually, I would probably just do the ice clip.
Yeah, pick up Ice Beam. Maybe pick up Spacer to get the Ice Clip faster.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a time investment, but it makes the Ice Clip so much easier.
It does.
And then that would have also saved him a lot of time at the bottom of Red Tower. And, but regardless, he is very close to being finished, depending on how long it takes him to get to Spring Ball.
Yep. The other option to getting up there would be, of course, going and killing Dragon to get Space Jump, and I can't imagine that that's on his plan list. As much as I love Space Jump, it's just too far out of the way, and you have to kill an extra boss for it. Not what I would want to do.
So, as much as I've been talking about Whewty skipping Meridia, he doesn't actually... Like, I was talking about how he might need to do Suitless to get a couple E-Tanks. He doesn't actually have to, because he picked up Gravity. I didn't really think about that. Although, he didn't really need to go to Wreck Ship at all, I would say.
Yeah, right? He could have skipped Wreck Ship. Mean getting a different E-Tank, of course, instead of the Wreck Ship E-Tank. And it would mean a Lava Dive to get to Lower Norfair. But those are... I know he's capable of Lava Dive. Anybody that it does randomizer at a serious level is going to be doing Lava Dive at a fairly commonly.
Regardless, I think it was a... I almost want to say you could skip Wreck Ship entirely. I don't think he was forced to go there.
No, I like to skip Wreck Ship if that's a possibility.
Yeah, because there's no power bombs there either.
Nope, no power bombs in Wreck Ship.
Just picked it up for... He didn't really pick up anything else in Wreck Ship, just E-Tank. I think he picked up left supers. And then Gravity.
Yep, that's all he got.
So I would say maybe not a worthy investment, but
depends on how comfortable he is with Lava Dive. Some people are really comfortable with it, and other people just kind of go there and just pray they do it right. Whereas now he can do a gravity jump with high jump boots is pretty free.
Did Feral pick up Crab Supers?
I don't know that he did. That would be a mistake if he didn't pick up one of those super missiles. Oh, yeah,
I was
because he
not
needs
looking.
one more.
Yeah, he needs one more.
Because he needs to get to 35, and I believe he's only
Oh
at 30.
no, that could be bad. That could be very bad. Because chat isn't instantly telling me he picked it up, so that
I
makes
know,
me
right?
think he didn't pick it up.
Okay, okay, PvP. You're the one on it. Oh, he's going back. You did
Oh yeah,
skip
he
it.
forgot. He knows it
Oh,
too.
man. Beryl, what are you doing?
Oh man, that's a costly mistake.
Very costly.
I don't think it's gonna cost him the race though. I think he's got enough of a. I think he's got a comfortable lead over Whewty at the moment. Whewty still needs to go into Lower Norfair and do a lot of stuff there. So I think Farrell should be fine, but it's not ideal.
And he's gonna try go for the gate glitch. No, he's not gonna go for the gate glitch. Okay. Oh, it's questionable. Depending whether that's faster or not, really depends on how quickly you get that gate glitch. I'm not sure how many supers, how many supers it takes to make it worth going that way. You know, how few you'd have to get it in. Yeah.
Actually, Whewty is not too far away from being done either. He has 10 E-tanks, I believe.
Yep.
Just needs one more, and he can pick that up at Firefly.
Yep,
so he just needs Firefly, Firefly, a couple more power bombs. I think. How many power bombs does he have right now?
Let's see. He hasn't picked up the Meridia ones or
He didn't
any
pick
of
the
the
Meridia ones. I think he has 35.
It's got to be 35.
Yeah,
So
I think he has 35.
Yeah, pick up power bombs of shame and Firefly, and then end in Metal Pirates room.
Yeah,
this
so
is really going to come down to how quickly Farrell can get to Spring Ball, and you know, again, this is not a trivial way to get to Spring Ball.
Yeah, Farrell is still significantly favored. Whewty still has about 5-ish minutes left, but if Farrell has too much trouble, this could be bad.
Also, one other thing to note, Whewty is not going to have any issues with. He's got his 10 energy tanks. No, I mean, Lower Norfair, don't get me wrong, is dangerous. Oh, and Woody's gonna have to pick up Screw Attack, which ironically is actually the amount of time that can save is about equal, potentially, depending on how his Lower Norfair would have been otherwise. He's gonna pick up that Screw Attack, and it just makes going through Lower Norfair so much easier.
Yeah, I do hope he knows the jump out of the Screw Attack area from the refill.
Oh yeah, actually that's an interesting one, because a lot of people think that the way to do that is to get as far back as you can go, and that actually doesn't work. To get that jump out, you actually need to be right on the block and run from there. And he's gonna take a safety save here with his super count, because that's the other thing. He's got to do a green gate glitch to get there. You can't even choose to go the vanilla way, because you actually need space jump for that Terizo there, or Chozo statue, whatever it is, to get rid of the
All right, so this is it right here.
Yep.
How long does it take Farrell to get up here? Oh, that was actually really nice. I think he's okay. That was really fast. If he can get that again, he's not even going for it again now.
Well, you can't do this as a wall jump without high jump boots.
Yeah, I mean, he got that first bomb jump really quickly, and then he just abandoned it. Whewty also needs to get this gate glitch. I think that's why he safety saved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because there's nowhere to get those super missiles if you don't. Yeah, if you run out of super missiles, there's nowhere to farm them until you get to these. Until you get to the Rippers, and of course they're all on the other side of the gate. And again, this is why I talked about this earlier. I would have, just pick up that Ice Beam. I honestly, the amount of time that Ice Beam would have saved him would have been worth the time invested in getting it, between the trouble he had getting up Red Tower and what he's going through right now.
So once again, I do want to double check with the tracker. How many power bombs does Whewty have? Because we're both thinking he has 35, but it hasn't been marked off yet. So maybe the tracker knows something we don't. Okay, Farrell got the bomb jump, so...
Okay, here we go.
Okay, he's fine.
Okay, there we go. That was the big thing, was getting those bomb jumps. He should be fine now.
You have him
Just
as
has to-
30.
Just has to wait out Shack Tool.
Yeah, Shack Tool is definitely a time sink, but isn't too bad. And I think Farrell, despite maybe not the cleanest run, especially at the end, had a couple costly mistakes, but he is going to be moving forward, I believe. It's all a formality at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He could die to Shack Tool.
I've seen a lot of weird deaths. I don't think I've ever seen a death to Shack Tool.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen an unintentional death to Shack Tool.
That's a good point.
I've definitely seen some,
And Whewty, you might want to turn that gravity suit back on. I just realized you never turned it back on after the gravity jump. That acid, even with that much energy, that acid will kill you very quickly. And Farrell finishing up with an official SRL time of 45:32. GG to Farrell.
Kind of crazy. That could have been a really insane time, despite the card. He made a couple mistakes, like forgetting that last super pack, and took him a little bit to get up Red Tower and into Spring Ball. That could have been a super insane time, but even with both those, or all those mistakes, that is a incredible time for Farrell with this card. And so for Whewty, he is picking up the prison power bomb, so I assume that means he does, in fact, only have 30.
Yeah, he must have skipped
both
something.
of these to get 40.
Because I don't see any other reason why you'd want to come to this particular power bomb pack unless you needed it to get to your 30 to get to your 40.
I don't know what he skipped. Did he skip?
He did criteria. Did he do Blueprint Star?
He either skipped Retro Brinstar or
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
either Retro Brinstar or Edicoons. One of the two. Because I remember seeing him go into Mission Impossible, and we definitely saw him
Saw
get
criteria.
the criteria power bomb because I pointed that out. So yeah, I think he might have accidentally forgotten one and picked up the backup power bomb there at prison.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Polar Bear Bunny saying that he skipped the Retro Brin power bombs, and joining us is Farrell. GG,
Hey.
Farrell.
Thank you.
So routing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning. Initially, I was unsure whether wreck ship or going down defeating Kraid was quicker. And it was right up until I actually entered Red Tower that I still hadn't decided, so I just thought I'd play it safe and go up, which would have... Because I didn't need wreck ship reserve, and other than that, it would have only cost me time. It wouldn't have cost me any backtracking or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Got the power bombs there that I was meant to get. And so that meant a bit of a backtrack there. What else?
Yeah,
Red Tower. I forgot. Basically, I couldn't get up. I just forgot I had high jump.
Yeah, Ice Beam might have helped you out there.
Yeah, I'd never thought of that. It wasn't until I actually entered Red Tower that I thought, oh, how am I getting up here? And then I remember, I think it was Whewty doing a video of a spark there, and which is not a bad spark, but it's just the transition. You have to spark through the transition that makes it difficult. So the distance isn't bad, it's that. And then right at the end, I forgot the super missiles. That was a terrible backtrack, that.
Yeah, and the other thing I was thinking of and I was talking about is I actually think the ice clip to Spring Ball is easier than trying to get up there the way you did with the bomb jumps.
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure how difficult it was to get up there. I thought you could actually jump through, and then I realised pretty quickly you couldn't. So I tried to improvise some sort of bomb jump, and which seemed to have worked. I think that could have worked if I'd have stuck with it, but
you got up there.
But anyway, yeah, I got up there.
Because towards the end, it really was coming down to where you can be able to get that bomb jump.
Yeah, I was trying different methods of getting that bomb jump because you're in the sand, so you can't just do a regular one. But so
Hello,
I tried a
can you
few
guys
things
hear me?
and got one working.
Yep. How you doing, Woody?
Hey,
Hey,
I'm doing
GG.
good. Hey, GG Farrell, good job. That was a difficult card.
Yeah.
So
a lot of that things on that card was new to me. I was expecting row one actually. I had the same I gave to you.
yeah, I guess I just felt like 40 power bombs. I don't know. I think that's harder than anything on that card, I guess. And then
Yeah.
it's taking away charge and high jump. And I mean, obviously, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh, he's probably not going to have to go to Lower Norfolk at all. But I was
Yeah.
thinking with 40 power bombs, maybe you'd end up there and having to go all the way back to Spring Ball and having to do the, I don't know. I kind of
At
just
40,
picked
I straight away ruled out Lower Norfolk and thought I can do everything but
yeah,
because it's two in Lower Norfolk.
yeah.
But
Did you
the
do?
reason I didn't pick that is because of the other powerbomb tiles on the 35 powerbombs, and I thought there's not anything else difficult on that row other than like skip high jump and skip grapple are difficult but free at the same time because you've got them instantly basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the 11 energy tanks and the finishing metal pirate room is kind of difficult sometimes because you got to route that in.
Yeah, I think that I probably would have ended up going that way anyway. So to me, that wasn't that big. I know Metal Pirate Room forces a lot of Lower Norfair, but yeah, that wasn't too difficult. I just feel like I don't know. I made a couple mistakes. I forgot about the Blue Bryn Star power bombs, and so that made me have to go into a Meridia, which killed some time. And then yeah, other than that, I don't know. You would have won either way, but
Well, I had to loop around Meridia twice.
yeah, because of a mistake or just what you decided to do.
No mistake. I missed Crab Supers, and I was on my way to Spring Ball, and then realized I didn't have enough. Like I hadn't ticked that tile off.
Oh,
So I
gotcha.
had to leap all the way around, and then I couldn't remember if you could glitch right to left on that one. I think you can.
Yeah, I think you
the
can
Green
do
Gate
that
glitch.
for all of them.
You can.
Yeah.
It's kind of I think it's a little bit of a trickier one, but it's definitely doable. But
So
whether
I
it
got
saves
that.
time depends on how many super missiles you actually take to get it.
Yeah.
So
So I'm assuming
Yeah.
you did column 5.
It was the only one I could see that
Right.
paired with it. Even though it meant I was trying really hard not to do the double backtrack. So if I did Wreckship first, but then I'd still have to come back to get speed and then back to Brinstar. But nothing else paired with it, other than if I either went to Lower Norfolk or I did a heavy collection tile like the energy tanks.
Yeah. The energy tanks were definitely the hardest to root in, and I don't think I got the 11 best ones because I missed the Blue Bryn Star energy tank, and so yeah, I don't know. It was a good race. I'm not disappointed with my time
no,
considering.
it's very,
It was
considering what
definitely
your
close, and
yeah.
and that card I think we've both done all right.
that was a hard card.
I
So
think that's the hardest card I've got so far.
Yeah, that's
So-
to me. I looked at it. I'm like, man, this is like the hardest card I've ever seen. It's
Yeah.
really.
I've seen some
not-
pretty bad ones. I don't know if this is the hardest, but this one's definitely up there. Farrell, I got to ask you about that Phantoon fight. That Enrage, that was
Oh,
really
yeah.
impressive. That was impressive because no charge beam, no high jump, and pea shooter for your beam and getting through that.
Yeah, I realized I only could take a couple of hits, and I thought I'll just play it safe. And then did I run out of missiles or something? And I misselected and ended up enraging him. And then in that instant, my heart just went. I don't have charge, so I had to do the shoot up and farm, and it came
Dang.
close initially, but
Yeah, that's
I'm
tough.
upset.
I would not live through that.
No, me neither.
So I do practice that a bit. So it's just always nervous in a race setting, but.
Yeah, I really wish you would have died. But
But all the way through that, I wasn't sure whether I was ahead or behind because we had completely different routes. There was no way to tell.
yeah,
So.
I wasn't even watching the stream, so I had no idea. I don't know. Part of me
I had
feels
it on
like
the background.
it's like an advantage in the sense that like you're not paying attention to it, so you can just focus on one thing and what you're doing. But at the same time, when you're getting close to being done, and you know they probably are too, then that is kind of I don't know.
Especially in
the difficult
Meridia when
part.
I missed Crab Supers and I thought, oh, that might have cost me the race because.
Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea where you were. I've just noticed we've almost locked out the card as well.
Yep. Well, no one gained the Wreck Ship Reserve tank. I don't know, guys. and
Hang on,
actually,
2 secs. I can.
and
tick
you could
everyone
go.
off.
I know you could go get that collect spring ball and skip ice beam and
Yeah.
very
Hold on,
quickly.
let me do that.
Okay. Do you have to undone to do that?
No.
Rats.
Just for
Alright.
fun.
Unlucky.
But yeah, I can't do anything about the other two. But
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it for me. But I appreciate it. It's a
Yeah.
bummer that I'm out, but I made it further than I thought I would. So
you did very well.
feels
You did
all
very
right.
well.
Hope you enjoyed the tournament.
Yeah. No, the tournament Dab is a lot of fun. I definitely feel like Dab is more my style than Rando. I suck at Rando, and Dab I feel like I can
Yeah,
route.
Dab is underrated.
Okay.
Everyone always concerns when's the next like Rando tournament, and yeah,
Oh, I love it.
Dab is just
I like Dab more.
I
But
like both. I think they exercise the different kind of skills instead of always taking the same route and doing everything the same way. You have
Yeah,
to
I
put some thought into both of them, and that's why I like both so much.
I just tend to find more success in Dab, so maybe that's why I like it more. But
I just like that
they are
anything
both good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right. I was a little nervous too. Was I supposed to go up Red Tower first, or was I supposed to go down Red Tower? Was that a mistake going down?
I think for you going down is probably the right way to go.
Okay.
We had Derp and I, when we were looking at the card, we had noticed that bottom left, or he had noticed it first, the bottom left top right, where you have to get that Wreck Ship Reserve tank and only collect one suit.
I did look at that. That was one that I almost picked that column, but then I decided that I just thought Farrell could. I don't know. My best bet was putting him in a situation where maybe he's not comfortable because he doesn't have charge and he doesn't have high jump, and that would be my best chance to win.
It was a good move because that's the first time I've ever had to skip high jump boots in a Dab race. It's like, everyone always talks about it, and I've never had to do it until this race.
Yeah, it can mess you up more than it can be. It's a sneaky tile, but
yeah.
I felt like.
I didn't even realize I had to skip charge until I entered the charge room. And it's a big room, so I was going across it, and I was looking at the tiles, and oh crap, I have to skip charge. Like if I'd have looked at that a split second later, I'd have collected charge.
Oh, that would have been bad.
I saw it collect grapple, but I didn't realize you had to collect grapple and skip charges.
Yeah. Yep, that's a
that was
reset.
a close one. Yeah.
All right, well, Farrell, good luck in the tourney. I'm not sure who you're playing next, but everyone's getting
Freya Spirit, I think.
Okay. Yeah, everyone at this
Let's take
point
a
is
look.
pretty darn good.
It is. You will be moving on to play Freya Spirit, and the winner of that will be playing the winner of, I believe, our next match that's happening in an hour.
Yeah.
There's one happening shortly, yeah.
Yeah, Ashter versus Canadian Owl. The all
On this channel,
matchup.
I think.
I believe so. Yep. We got Ashter versus Canadian Owl. So yeah, the all Canadian matchup. Actually, I believe the all Ontario matchup even.
Yep, and then the winner of that will be playing the winner of Farrell versus Freyas.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little mini bracket we got there for very good runners.
No weak players left here. That's for sure.
All right.
Yeah, now that we got rid of Whewty. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I'm average. But
anyone who's got up to this point I didn't expect to get to this point because Dab's not really my thing. I'm sort of counting on my any percent skill to get me this far, but there's going to come a point where
that's another reason why I chose to go down at Red Tower, because I felt like with the forced row, it's kind of like, okay, I can just do any percent, which familiar room strats, I'm not allowed to get anything, so I just tried to modify my any percent to fit the route. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's what I did on my last race. I collected wave just so I could do any percent from that point on.
Right, I thought the same thing. That's when I went to get wave. I'm like, well, if I just kept this, I wasn't sure if that was the right move or not. It did cost me some time, and there's only one missile pack down there to get on the way. But I don't know. I don't think it would have been. It's not 3 minutes, so no worries. All right. Take it easy, guys. I'm going to
All
take
right.
off. And thanks
Thank you,
for
Woody.
all the thanks for everyone who was commentating and tracking and
Yeah, thanks for the
racing and
rest. Yeah, good
restreaming
content.
and yeah. All right. I will see you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Woody.
Yep. Thank you. See ya.
Yep, and we do have, like we said, we have another race coming up shortly on this channel, Canadian Owl versus Ashdor, and then on Thursday we have, I guess this is the winners final, isn't it? Before the reset, with whoever comes out of the losers bracket, we have Kip versus our own Derp right here. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I just want to point out that is between the two guys who have the fastest average times in the whole tournament.
And number 2 and 3 in terms of fastest single game time. So that should be a real good one. That'll be Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern time on one of the SpeedGaming channels. So definitely going to want to tune in for that one. All right. So I think that'll be it for us. So hopefully we'll see you all in an hour. Any last words, guys?
Nah.
Tried to think of something, but I can't. Thanks for watching, and thank you for everyone that's volunteered for the tournament. So we couldn't do it without all you guys.
All right, then we will see you all in an hour. Please do tune in.